It's a world that's often filled with negativity, heartache, pain, and sorrow. In parts of the world, there are disasters and tragedies that are natural and man-made. Will gratitude really change any of this? Will gratitude make a difference?
That is the million-dollar question that we asked Doug Vermeeren. Welcome back to Breakfast Television.
Good to be with you, Ryan.
And congratulations on your new film, The Gratitude Experiment, a follow-up to the award-winning film, The Opus. Now, I grew up hearing about the importance of an attitude of gratitude. Is this the same thing?
It is essential to have that attitude of gratitude, but I think it goes beyond that. It's not just enough to kind of, feel grateful for what we have. We've really got to find gratitude in a larger way in our life to make a big difference, even globally.
Now, we see here, the clip that we showed just opening up this interview here, you show pollution. You talk about world hunger. You talk about natural disasters. I mean, some people are going to say, are you kidding me? You want me to give thanks in a situation like this where I see heartache and heartbreak all around the world?
Well, I think not only to necessarily find the gratitude in those situations, but it's gratitude that's going to change those situations and circumstances. You see, I believe that once we have gratitude for what is, all of a sudden the good things that are in our life can expand and grow.
Okay, let's try to quantify this. But by the word gratitude, do you mean giving thanks? Do you mean by being thankful?
I think not only thankful, but recognizing and finding appreciation in. And I think for a lot of people that's kind of difficult because we're thankful, obviously, for the big things that we recognize and the things that are, providing immediate pleasure or value or excitement in our life, but sometimes we don't even recognize that in some of the challenges that we have, there can be gifts there as well.
Okay, so I want to look to a personal development expert such as yourself, and let me ask you a very pointed question. Let's say we take a look at a hurricane, for example. Now, what are we going to give thanks for in a situation where we see people absolutely devastated?
Sure. Well, I think in any natural disaster that we find, it really draws people together and helps us to form more of a community and to be able to solve problems. And it really, with any kind of natural disaster, we really see the strength of humans coming through, of the human race coming through. Now, of course, there's definitely moments in these situations which are difficult for us. But, of course, if we focus on those difficulties, we're never going to find an escape route to make things better. It's just the way that life is. There's ups and there's downs, and if we focus on the down, we'll always be trapped in a down situation. But even in the down situations, if we can see gratitude in it, we can find a way to escape.
So are you kind of banking on the idea that gratitude is somewhat contagious then?
I believe that it is. In fact, I think that any positive attitude can be contagious. Let's just take the example. I was chatting in the back room with one of the gals here. If you come to Starbucks and you're really mean and nasty to the guy that's making your coffee, well, the next 10 guys are going to get mean and nasty. But if you're kind to this person and you share that expanding energy of kindness, gratitude, and positivity, all of a sudden everyone in the line changes. And so I believe that, that's a small example, but I believe even on a larger scale, that can very much make a difference.
Okay, in your film, and we should mention to our viewers that it'll be debuting May 8th at the Edmonton City Centre Theatre, just down the street from us here at Breakfast Television. You refer to it as the Gratitude Experiment. You talk to a lot of experts. People are going to recognize them from films like The Secret. I suppose well-heeled folks when it comes to the area of personal development. But what's the experimental side of it? I mean, what were the variables and what was the end result? Did you come up with a hypothesis and then develop that all the way through?
Well, it's actually interesting. It was a university professor that helped me come up even with the idea. And you're right, it did come out around the time of The Secret. The idea is in The Secret they teach something called the law of attraction. And I went and I asked her, I said, okay, so what do you think of this law? Is it scientific? Is it legit? Is it real? What are your thoughts? And she said for a minute, well, there's no question that this delivers positivity, but it's not a law. And I said, excuse me? Everybody on every TV show now is calling it a law. And she said, well, basically, in order for it to be a law, it has to have quantifiable variables that can be repeated by everyone the same way that gravity can. It doesn't change based on who you are, with your race, your sex, your size. It doesn't change. And so I thought to myself, well, what other things can we study like this law of attraction that might be able to provide some scientific evidence as far as is it true or not? And of course, gratitude is one of those things. It's not necessarily tangible, but there is a ton of scientific evidence that demonstrates that gratitude can make a difference for us. And then of course, obviously in practical real life with the experts that I had a chance to interview and a lot of the case studies we looked at, I saw some remarkable things happen with gratitude.
Hey, well, you've certainly planted the seed here and given us something to think about today. If you want to see the Gratitude Experiment, you'll have to be there May 8th at the City Centre Theatre. Doug Vermeeren, thanks for joining us.
Good to
All
be
of
with
the
you,
information on our website under the Inside BT link at breakfasttelevision.ca. News, traffic, and weather up right after this.